she does of the Portland hospital, the birth. That was completely fabricated. We all know the first interview was given to CBS. We all know that she never intended to go to the Portland hospital.
That belly looks very abnormal. That it looks very strange. If you look up close in the video, and I encourage people, look at this. It looks like there's like a bag or like some sort of something shoved
at home. We know that they deceived the public about the birth data and time of the whole event.
The question no royal ever dared to ask is suddenly splashed across every single headline. Are Archie and Lilibet truly Harry and Meghan's children? It sounds unbelievable, even cruel, but here we are. The whispers that were once confined to hidden corners of the internet are now the loudest scream in the room.
It goes down to the lawyer saying that in that statement, when they have that long attack on the Mail, which is astonishing.
No one thought it would ever come to this. For years, Harry and Meghan built an iron wall of privacy around their children. They demanded the press stay away, insisted Archie and Lilibet were off-limits, untouchable, sacred. But all of that has come crashing down thanks to one man, Tom Bauer. And let's be honest, Bauer doesn't dabble in little rumors. He detonates bombs, he doesn't drop hints, he launches grenades right into the heart of Reputation.
Open your legs and go right down, which is actually incredibly crude. And she's just letting it all go.
This time his bombshell slices through the very foundation of Harry and Meghan's entire brand. Bauer isn't just saying there's mystery. He's suggesting Archie and Lilibet might not even be their biological children. He claims surrogacy wasn't just a private choice, but a secret so carefully masked it borders on deception. And maybe, just maybe, the truth is only partly out. This isn't just a scandal, it's an earthquake. In the royal world, lineage is everything. This is about bloodlines, legitimacy, and who actually belongs in the line of succession.
It's birthday to actually show when she was born. You know, it's absolutely...
For years, Harry has tried to rewrite his story. Once the rebellious prince branded by scandals, he turned himself into the devoted husband and doting father who insisted that family life in California had saved him. Fatherhood became his redemption story. The reason he left the palace, the excuse for the Netflix mega deals, the justification behind every public feud. I'm doing this for my children, he repeated endlessly as if chanting a spell. But Tom Bauer's revelation has ripped that foundation right out from under him.
Says that she didn't cooperate with Omid Scobie, and she said that she didn't consult anyone when writing the letter to her father. That was in a sworn written statement. That was untrue. She then admits that it was...
And behind palace gates, whispers are saying Harry is falling apart. Night after night, he scrolls through articles, devouring every cruel headline about Archie and Lilibet. He's pacing the halls of that California mansion like a restless ghost, snapping at staff, lashing out, unraveling. The irony is gut-wrenching. The same man who built a global campaign around mental health now looks consumed by paranoia. Friends from his military days whisper that they barely recognize him anymore.
Is very, very careful of everything. She organizes things in her head and written down.
Meanwhile, Meghan has chosen a completely different strategy. Total calculated silence. No tears in public, no angry statements, no messy breakdowns. Instead, insiders whisper that Meghan is in full crisis management mode, drafting legal threats, quietly instructing her team to strangle the story before it spreads further.
Well, extraordinary how the whole thing is unraveling.
And yet they don't produce any evidence.
None at all.
Of the claims that they have made against the royal family.
And on paper, that tactic makes sense. A cold, sharp legal letter can kill a tabloid piece faster than any PR spin. But here's the problem. Every time Meghan unleashes her lawyers, the public only grows more suspicious. The harder she fights to shut it down, the more convinced people become that there's something dark worth hiding. It's the Streisand effect on steroids. The more you try to silence it, the louder it echoes.
About them. And I think that she does. She's thought about this carefully, and she's sort of pushing him out.
From her perfectly staged pregnancy photos to the glossy Netflix documentaries, Meghan has always choreographed her public image with precision. Now, facing Tom Bauer's bombshell, she's sticking to the same playbook. Control the narrative, no matter the cost. But something's changed. What once looked polished now feels slippery, evasive, almost manipulative.
Which Harry has, that you don't want to upset him like that. You don't want to put him in a very difficult place with his family.
And here's the kicker. Silence doesn't erase suspicion. It fuels it. Meghan's refusal to speak openly about the rumors leaves a vacuum, and gossip thrives in empty spaces. Suddenly, every old photo is under the microscope, every timeline is questioned, and every stiff legal letter looks less like denial and more like confirmation.
And actually just understand.
And if there's one thing fanning the flames more than anything else, it's the unanswered questions around Meghan's pregnancies. From the very moment she announced Archie, nothing quite added up. The timelines felt vague, her public appearances seemed staged, and those photos? Let's just say they raised more questions than answers.
She just takes everything away. She couldn't care less now. That's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, I know.
Unlike Kate Middleton, who gave the world that raw, authentic moment outside the hospital just hours after giving birth, hair a mess, eyes tired but glowing with truth, Meghan gave nothing of the sort. No hospital steps, no official confirmations, no candid doctors or nurses. Instead, we got airbrushed images that looked more like Vogue covers than real-life milestones.
Say opening her legs is never something Meghan Markle has had a problem with. But let's move on. Let's move on from that.
Well, she should if she's pregnant. That's the point.
Yes.
She should.
And then there's that bump debate. Meghan's belly seemed to morph in size and shape, leaving millions scratching their heads. Was it just camera angles, lighting tricks, or was there something else? Clips of Meghan bending easily in late pregnancy went viral, sparking whispers that refused to die. And then came the birth of Lilibet in California. Again, no hospital records, no official confirmations, just secrecy. Instead of silencing questions, the mystery grew deeper. For any ordinary family, these details wouldn't matter. But royals live and die by public record. Every birth is history. And Meghan's missing details created a deafening silence. Instead of closing the door on rumors, she left it cracked open. And now, years later, Tom Bower has kicked it clean off the hinges, feeding skeptics exactly what they always wanted: a reason to believe. If Harry and Meghan thought their obsession with privacy would shield their children, the royal family's behavior said otherwise. From the very beginning, the distance between Archie, Lilibet, and the Windsors was glaring. And in the monarchy, absence screams louder than words. Just look at the contrast. William and Kate's children are practically woven into the royal fabric, captured laughing with King Charles, sitting comfortably with Camilla, even sharing tender moments with the late Queen. These aren't just family snapshots. They are proof of legitimacy, proof these children belong. Meanwhile, Archie and Lilibet, practically invisible. Beyond the carefully curated photos released by Harry and Meghan, there's nothing. No spontaneous hugs from Charles, no official palace birthday portraits, not even casual moments of family unity. That silence doesn't just feel odd, it feels suspicious. And now, with Tom Bower's explosive claims out in the open, the dots connect too easily. Was the distance Harry and Meghan's choice for privacy? Or was the palace quietly keeping boundaries all along, preparing for the possibility that one day, a revelation like this would surface? Some royal watchers whisper that the monarchy may have always known, keeping Archie and Lilibet at arm's length for a reason. Succession. That's where this bombshell turns from family drama into full-blown constitutional crisis. The monarchy isn't just a family. It's a machine built on centuries of bloodlines and tradition. Every heir must be beyond doubt. One crack in the foundation could bring the whole system trembling down. On paper, Archie and Lilibet are neatly slotted into the line of succession. Archie 7th in line, Lilibet close behind. But if Bower's claims have any truth, that chart suddenly looks fragile. Royals have weathered scandals before. Infidelity, divorces, even abdication. But the legitimacy of heirs? That's sacred ground. That's the one thing untouchable. And it isn't just ceremonial, it's political. The monarchy's very survival hinges on the public believing in continuity. Imagine the chaos if whispers about Archie or Lilibet's parentage took root in Parliament or the press. Every critic of the monarchy would seize it as ammunition. Every politician eager to weaken royal influence would pounce. What began as gossip could spiral into the biggest threat to the institution in generations. Behind closed doors, some insiders believe this is exactly why Buckingham Palace has kept its distance. Less visibility means fewer questions. But less visibility also means Archie and Lilibet never got the warm embrace normally extended to royal children. They were denied those moments of royal unity, and now, in hindsight, the absence speaks volumes. For Harry, this is a nightmare he can't wake up from. He spent years swearing that his children would never be sidelined like he once felt as Diana's son, yet here he is, watching the legitimacy of his own children questioned in the harshest way possible. For Meghan, it's another cruel reminder that no matter how carefully she scripts her family's narrative, the monarchy always holds the pen for the final draft. And the looming question remains, if succession is built on absolute certainty, how long can the royal family afford to tolerate even the shadow of doubt? Because if there's anyone who can't afford this scandal to explode further, it's Meghan. She has spent years curating her image, the outsider turned duchess, the protective mother fighting for her children, the woman brave enough to challenge the palace machine. Every interview, every Netflix scene, every staged photo reinforced that carefully constructed story. But Bauer's claim slices right through it. And here's the cruel twist. In the public eye, when paternity doubts are whispered, the spotlight doesn't fall hardest on the man. It falls on the woman. Harry might be questioned, but Meghan is judged. Already labeled by critics as manipulative, calculating, and ambitious, she now risks being painted as untrustworthy at the most intimate level of all, her own motherhood. To her supporters, Meghan remains unfairly targeted. A woman constantly picked apart, her choices twisted into controversy. But to her critics, this scandal is gasoline poured on a fire they've been stoking for years. And suddenly, the line between Meghan's personal choices and her public credibility has blurred to nothing. One fracture in her reputation and no amount of glossy documentaries or podcasts can glue it back together. For Harry, though, this goes deeper than public image. This is about his very identity, as a husband, but most painfully, as a father. For years, he painted himself as the protector, the man who broke from the monarchy to shield his wife and children from the same cold machine that haunted him as a boy. But now, Bauer's claim threatens to rip away that entire mission in a single brutal stroke. Imagine being Harry. You've cut ties with your family, uprooted your entire life, gone to war with the British press, all in the name of protecting your wife and children. And now, the very thing you gave it all up for, the certainty of your family, is under attack. Insiders whisper that Harry is reeling, questioning who he can trust. The doubt isn't just coming from the outside world anymore, it's creeping into his inner circle. Friends, advisors, even family members are said to be treading carefully around him, fearful of how fragile he's become. And remember, Harry has always been open about his mental health struggles. A scandal this raw doesn't just sting, it destabilizes. It tears at the core of who he is. What makes it worse is that his role as a father is now under a cruel spotlight. Every time someone questions Archie and Lilibet's legitimacy, Harry takes it like a personal wound. For him, this isn't about palace politics or royal succession, it's about two little lives he swore to protect at all costs. And in his heart, the real fear isn't just what the world thinks, it's whether he has the strength to endure a storm that feels like it's only just beginning. Tom Bauer's claims may be unproven, but they've already done the one thing Harry and Meghan dreaded most, planted a seed of doubt. And in the brutal world of royal gossip, once doubt takes root, it's nearly impossible to rip it out.